This really sucks. So last night, right before I was about to go to bed, I decided to open Instagram and check it one last time, and I saw this.
Yes, all of that is true. Round 5 of sparring last night. Splits his eyebrow wide open. Had it stitched up last night. The Volkanovski crew, him and Israel, these guys are just absolute studs, man. He jumps in and he accepts the fight.
So Charles Oliveira has pulled out of his fight against Islam Makhachev because of a nasty cut over his right eye. I can't show it on YouTube, I don't think, but you can go, it's on Twitter, you can go look at it. And Volkanovski stepped in, and instead he will be fighting Islam on UFC 295, and now it's looking like Paulo Costa might be pulling out. This whole card's going to shit. But that really sucks. I was really looking forward to Charles Oliveira versus Islam too. I literally had a friend who took off work to come watch that fight because of how big of a Charles fan he is. But instead, we got Volkanovski versus Islam 2, and mad respect to Volkanovski taking this fight on about 10 days notice, jumping up a weight class, going into enemy territory, and fighting one of the best fighters on the planet who already beat him once. But it just really sucks how this had to happen so close to the fight. And a lot of people are going to say, well, aren't you excited for Volkanovski versus Islam too? And the answer is yes. This was a fight I was really looking forward to happening sometime down the road. But when that fight eventually happens, I wanted it to be them both at their best, and that's just not what we're going to get. Volkanovski's probably coming off the couch. He just had a kid not too long ago. He also just had, I believe, elbow surgery only a few months back after his fight with Yair. So he's not in training camp. He's coming off of an elbow surgery, and he's got only 10 days to prepare for one of the best fighters on the planet who he already lost to, meaning we're probably not going to get the best version of Volkanovski. And for Islam, even though he was in training camp, he was in training camp for Charles, a guy who is a much different fighter than Volkanovski. So we're probably not even going to get the best version of Islam either in this fight. And that's really disappointing because these are two of the best fighters on the planet. And to have a fight that was so hyped up and so highly anticipated to happen under these circumstances with neither guy being their best. And all of this is happening literally hours after Volkanovski versus Ilia Topuria got announced, so that fight might not even happen now. We'll see. As for Charles, it was only a cut. I've gotten cuts like that before, and you're okay to fight after like a few weeks. But because this fight's happening right now, Charles probably won't even get his title shot, which he should get. His next fight should be for the title, whether it's against Volkanovski, whether it's against Islam, or maybe something crazy happens and Justin Gaethje wins the belt or something. It doesn't matter. Whoever has the belt, Charles should fight in his next fight. But because this fight's happening right now, that fight could be 5 months away, 6 months away even. And if Volkanovski wins the belt, because he's got to defend at featherweight as well, this fight could be 9-10 months away. Say the Ilia Topuria fight still happens. Which is really disappointing because Charles isn't young. Charles is, I think, 34. Okay, he's 33. He turns 34 in 6 days. So by the time this fight would have happened, he'll be 34. By the time his next fight happens, he'll be like 34 and a half, most likely. I hope I'm wrong, but typically guys start to decline around this age. And whether you like him or not, he's one of the most entertaining and beloved fighters. It's hard to not like Charles. And to think we could go a year without seeing him fighting while he's still in his prime is very disappointing and very sad. But that's not the only potential pullout for this card. It's looking like Paulo Costa might not even fight Khamzat Chimaev. He just had elbow surgery, I think a week ago. He did just say on Twitter literally 20 minutes ago as I'm recording this, he said, I'm not pulling out of this fight anyway. But still, he might not pull out, but he might not be able to pass medicals. Having a elbow surgery, or just any surgery, a few weeks before a fight is not good and not ideal. As well, we're probably not going to get the best version of Paulo Costa. As much as people don't like to admit it, Paulo Costa has a real chance against Khamzat Chimaev. A lot better of a chance than what the odds say and what people say. But man, two of the fights I was most looking forward to finish out the year are Oliveira versus Islam, and Paulo Costa versus Khamzat might not even happen. Oliveira versus Islam is for sure not happening, and instead we get Volkanovski, which is good. And then also Khamzat versus Costa, one of the fights I was also looking forward to a lot. we're not going to get the best version of Costa if that fight even happens. So UFC 294, which was looking like one of the best cards of the year, has really gone down. Because this fight is so close, I'm not going to give an early prediction because it wouldn't really be an early prediction. All I'm going to say is I don't like Volkanovski's chances. If we get the best version of Volkanovski, I think it's a borderline 50-50 fight. But we're getting a Volkanovski who's coming off his surgery, coming off of the couch, has only 10 days to prepare for one of the best fighters on the planet who already beat him once. So I don't like his chances, but yeah, that's the end of this video.
Stuck in a bad dream, Hollywood rich girl stuck in my backseat. And she wanna get at me, but the day's too short, can't let her distract me.